Hello everybody, I'm Thomas. Welcome back to another video. This time I'm back with some more Keyforge where I will be fighting the Keyraken again. This time though, I'm going to be trying it with a Winds of Exchange deck, a brand new, unopened Winds of Exchange deck. And as you can kind of see, I'm also playing with the actual market version of the Keyraken Adventure. Before I was playing with just my print and play version, which worked fine, but this is obviously a lot nicer quality. There's also a couple of new cards in the deck, which is pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and figure out which deck I'm going to open. I have two sealed Winds of Exchange decks. I'm just going to shuffle them. Doesn't really matter. I'll go with this one. This one feels a bit better to me. So that one's going off the screen. And let's do a quick deck opening to see what I get. Let me go ahead and maybe zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I switched my camera so I could zoom in a little bit more. So let's see what I get. Hopefully, like I said, something decent. So the house name is Panic, Gore Outlands Advisor. And it has, okay, I see Equidon and Brobnar and Unfathomable. Ooh, I like Brobnar, I like Unfathomable. So here is a quick look at the full deck list if you're interested, but I'm not really gonna look at it. I'm just going to shuffle it up and start playing. While I'm shuffling these cards, I will quickly just talk about what the Keyraken is if you've ever seen me fight this old creature before. So the Rise of the Keyraken is what I'll be playing today. It is a adventure, a Keyforge adventure that can be played solo, like I will be doing. You can also play it with, it scales up to, I don't know how many players, but it scales up to if you want to play it with more people. You play it cooperatively. It's pretty cool. So there's this Keyraken creature that's trying to reach the surface. If it reaches the surface, I lose. It has to basically, it's on depth level 0, and if it ever reaches 4, then I lose. So I need to prevent it from doing that. It's going to try to surface as its version of forging a key. It has its own deck of cards that it'll be drawing 2 from each round. It has action cards, upgrade. I don't know if it has any upgrades actually, but it has like minions and creatures and artifacts and all that good stuff. The Tide is a mechanic that is either low or high, and it can affect a lot of the cards in the deck as well as how much it costs for the Keyraken to advance. The Keyraken starts with 30 health total. It also starts with 6 armor, and that's because it gets 2 armor for each of my unforged keys. So I will be trying to forge my keys to essentially try to weaken the armor on the Keyraken, so I can actually start doing damage to it, because I need to whittle it down to 0 health, and it starts out with 30, which is quite a lot. But that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll take my turn. I draw 2 cards to the Keyraken, resolve its new cards and all of its creatures, and then it's back to me, and we kind of just keep going back and forth like that. So hopefully it'll go decently. Mighty Club is just hopping out there. Let me do a little bit more shuffling of this, and then we'll get started. All right, so yeah, since this is a fresh deck, I just want to make sure it is thoroughly shuffled and all ready to go and all mixed up. So let's go ahead and draw my starting hand of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I shuffled these, but looks like I got the good old 4 Unfathomable and 2 Brobnar. 2 Brobnar creatures, pretty strong creatures, which having good creatures is good against the Keyraken, so hopefully Brobnar will help with that. Unfathomable has a lot of board control stuff, so I'm excited. Make a token creature, each ready a creature captures 1 from its opponent. During your opponent's next turn, keys have a +3 cost. Okay, cool. So lots of interesting cards. Let me see what I want to go with first. This is a tough decision because I want to play Brobnar to get the creatures down, but Unfathomable, I have a decent amount of stuff I could do. I should also note real quick, the token creature for this deck is the Prospector from the Equidon house, and it only has 1 health, and it has the destroyed ability to draw a card. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go with Brobnar. Maybe that's not the best move, but I want to get Heeb the Huge down, deal 2 damage to each other undamaged creature, doesn't matter. And then I got Krog the Clumsy, who has Splash Attack 2. I feel like having some high power creatures early on should be good, so I can manage the Keyraken's creatures and hopefully they don't get too out of control. Let me draw 2 more cards. I draw another Krog and a couple more Brobnar cards. So I could go Brobnar again next turn, use my creatures, who knows. But let me go ahead and draw for the Keyraken. So draw 2 cards for them, and then if they had any cards in their archive, I would also draw those. So let's see what its first card is. Drag to your doom. Purge your most powerful creature. The tide is high. You may lower the tide instead. So Krog the Clumsy is already purged. So he is out for the game. Unfortunate. It does have the ability if the tide is high, you may lower the tide instead. So some cards have that ability where if the tide is high, you can lower it. But a lot of the cards also are bad for me if the tide is high. So it's definitely it's kind of like a game in its own of like when to raise the tide and how bad is it going to hurt you. But next card, oh gosh, it's already here. Titanic Maw. The second card I draw, and that's not good. So this attaches to the Keyraken. Keyraken gains Skirmish, and it will fight the most powerful creature, and then it also does 3 damage to each of the Keyraken, the neighbor's creature. At the end of the turn, if I control no creatures, Titanic Maw is destroyed. So that attaches to the Keyraken. Then normally the Keyraken would go and reap, but since it has that, it's going to attack instead. So it's going to deal 3 damage to Heb the Huge. Doesn't take any damage in return because it has Skirmish. It also has 6 armor, so it wouldn't really matter. And then it's back to my turn. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to go Unfathomable. It might be better to wait, but I'm going to do this. So this Timothy the Damned, pretty good card. I play it, make a token creature. Not bad, but the next part is what's important. While I control a token creature, your opponent cannot forge keys. So as long as I keep this guy and a token creature alive, they can't do anything. They can't surface, but they're going to keep attacking because they have Titanic Maw. So I will play them there. I'll go ahead and create the token creature over here. Then I have all these cards, which aren't the best. These two basically don't do anything, but I will play them just to gain their ambers because I need to, do that at some point so I can forge keys to lower their armor. I also have this Crushing Deep card, which I will use. It gains me an amber for playing it, and then says during your opponent's next turn, key cost is +3 amber for each forge key they have. So once again, doesn't really do anything. I'm just mainly playing it for the amber. That is all the cards I can play. So I ready up all of them and I draw back up to 6. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lots of Brobnar, some Equidon. I was gonna go Brobnar this last turn. I'm kind of glad I didn't because now I have some more cards to pretty much play next turn, which is great. So back to the Keyraken. They draw their 2 cards. Let's see what they get. First off is Tidal Trouble. They gain an amber first, and that says stun your most powerful creature and each creature that shares a house with it. So Heb the Huge has been stunned. Next card is Crimson Churning. This one's kind of annoying. D1 damage to each of your creatures. That's actually not too bad. I thought this was a different card. So they die. I've already lost my token creature, which sucks, but because it was destroyed, I get to draw a card, which is good. That's it for that. So then the Keyraken, oh boy, it's going to attack. It does 3 damage to each of the neighbors. So it's going to take out both creatures, which sucks. I was going to try to keep them alive, but yeah, the Keyraken's essentially going to fight this guy, kill him with a splash damage. It takes out them, so he's wiped my board. The only good side, though, is because of that, the Titanic Maw gets destroyed. Because, yeah, at the end of the Keyraken's turn, if I control no creatures, destroy Titanic Maw. So that's decent. They also don't have enough to forge at the moment, so I'm okay on that front for the moment. So it's back to my turn. Let me see what I want to do. Yeah, I just want to get some creatures down, so I'm going to go Brobnar. I'm going to play Krog the Clumsy, and what else do I have? This Nurbor the Flamewing, which is a pretty interesting... when it's destroyed, it makes a token creature, and then it has an ability at the start of your turn. If this card is in your discard pile, you may destroy a friendly creature, and if you do, put this card ready into play, which is pretty neat. I will go ahead... Actually, maybe I would have played Pound first before playing these 2 cards, just so I can not have to target my own creatures for the damage, which would be great. Then I will play Fresh Marks, so once again, just get some amber. I can't really do anything with those cards, and then I will ready up both of my creatures. I wish my board was looking a little bit more strong, but at the moment, it's what I got. So I do have 5 Equidon cards to play next time. 2 of them are creatures, so that's good, but could be better. Keyraken cannot surface. They need 3 amber, so I am chilling. If they were able to, I probably would have messed with the tide a little bit. I guess I also didn't mention, but the tide can be raised at a cost of 2 amber. When the tide is low, it costs the Keyraken 3 amber to advance. So we're fine for now. Next card is Defend the Keyraken. and they gain an amber and ward the Keyraken and each of its creatures. I mean, luckily, it's just the Keyraken, so not too bad. The next card is Whirlpool Eddy. So I don't know where I'm gonna play their artifacts, maybe like right above where I have my hand of cards, somewhere like down here, whatever. Then the Keyraken would reap on its turn, and then that readies up, and we're moving right along. All right, so I'm definitely gonna call Equidon. I guess I'll play this Arcane guy and this old Tinkerer, which is pretty good. I'll go ahead and play this Trading Frenzy card. I gain an amber, and it says a friendly creature and an enemy creature each capture 3 from their opponent. Keyraken doesn't count as a creature, so I just basically get to capture 3 amber, which is good. Stops them from surfacing next turn. I can also play this Closed Door Negotiation card, mainly to gain me an amber, and it says your opponent draws a card, which they essentially just archive. And then I can steal an amber, which is good. And then finally, I have this Token of Appreciation card, which I will play. Lets me create a token creature, which I've done. Then this is the part I'm a little confused. It says forge a key at +7 current cost, reduced by 1 amber for each friendly token creature. So I think by that, +7 current cost, that's kind of a lot. So, because the current cost is 6, so +7, that's 13. I don't have that kind of amber, so. But that's fine, at least have another token creature out. I think that's all I really can do for this turn. I'm slowly getting a board of creatures, which is good. Maybe I could get some artifacts, which I don't even know what this deck has as far as artifacts go, but I am in check, which is good. They don't have much amber, which is good. I unfortunately did get a 2-2-2 split, which maybe isn't bad. I mean, it leaves me options to go with whatever house, but obviously whatever house I do choose, I only get to play 2 cards, so not the greatest. But let me go ahead and draw their 2 cards along with their archive. So they get Primordial, so the Keyraken gains Reap, archive an adventure card. After a player forges a key, destroy Primordial. So that's no fun, but I might be destroying that literally next turn. As long as they don't steal too much amber from me this turn, I might be okay. So Ascending Jet, that's an artifact, and they have their first creature, a Lashing Tentacle. So then the Keyraken reaps, and then because of its Primordial, it archives a card. Its artifacts go, so I have to stun exhaust one of your creatures that is not already stunned and exhausted. It doesn't have to be like the most powerful or anything, so I think that's just that. That's it for the Keyraken's turn. So it didn't steal anything from me. So because of that, I have my 2, 4, and 6 amber needed to go ahead and forge my first key, lowering their armor and getting rid of Primordial. Thank goodness. That is a good sign. So let me see what I want to do. Okay, so I think I'm going to call Brobnar. I'm going to play this card called Smith. I gained an amber for playing it, which is a good start. And then it says gain 2 amber if you control more creatures than your opponent, which I absolutely do. So I'm already up to 5 amber again. It's a good start. I can play, I might wait to play this for a second because I will first attack with my Nurbor Flamewing or whatever, attack the Slashing Tentacle. So that means it dies, they take 3 damage, and the Keyraken, I guess would normally be dealt 3 damage, but it's warded, so I think that ward comes off, if I'm playing that correctly. Then I can go ahead and play Press Gang, which allows me to make a token creature, and I will just make them also way down there. And then it says if an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, which there was one, then I can archive this, which is kind of sweet. Then I already used this creature. I can go ahead and reap with Krog the Clumsy, and I'm already back to 6 amber. So this deck has some really decent amber generation, which is good. I'm also trying my best to keep the Keyraken's creatures under control, which is good. So I'm doing all right so far. Let me go ahead and draw my 2 cards. I am in check again, which is fantastic. I got 3 Unfathomable and 3 Equidon to choose from for next turn, but when I go ahead and do the Keyraken's turn, so I draw them 2 cards and grab their archived cards. So their first card is a Slippery Arm that is just played. It has Elusive and a Reap ability. Next is another Ascending Jet. That's not great. And a Tenacious Arm that has 3 power and a Reap ability. So then the Keyraken will go and Reap then all of the artifacts will be used. So stun, exhaust, one of your creatures that is not already stunned or exhausted. I guess I'll do my token creature. I don't know if, yeah, I already did that. And then the ascending jet would go, and it gives +3 power to one of these creatures. We'll just go with the non-elusive one, I guess. So they're up to 6 power. And that's all the Keyraken can do. So it's readying up its stuff. It's back to my turn. And surprisingly, they didn't take any of my amber, so that's on them. That's another Keyforged. That's the name of the game. A Keyforged for me. I'll go ahead and do that. So they're only down to 2 armor total. I haven't really damaged them at all, but at least their armor is slowly being chipped away, which is good. Let me see what I want to play now. Okay, I think I actually see a pretty decent play here. So I'm gonna go ahead and discard this Market Crash because I don't really want to. It would allow me to destroy each non-token creature. I would gain 2 chains. Don't really want to deal with that at the moment. Ornate Talking Tray, I will for sure play. That gains me an amber for doing so. And then I will play Pull-Up Stakes, which gain an amber for playing. I have to shuffle 2 friendly creatures into my deck. So I guess I'll go with both of my token creatures. I don't even know if that's allowed. I mean, they're creatures, they're just token creatures, but I mean, I'm shuffling them to my deck. I don't even know what they are, but that's fine, because then I can return 4 enemy creatures to their owner hand. So essentially, just delaying these guys coming back out, which is fine with me. It means another turn that they won't activate, which is great on my end, I think. And then I have both of these cards to use. So I can use the Old Tinker, I will reap with, and they have an after reap ability. Discard a card from your hand and draw a card. I guess maybe, I forgot that card did that, so maybe I would have held on to that Market Crash card and discarded that, so then I can draw a card. Okay, well that's another Old Tinker, which I will gladly take. Maybe I will scoot these down a little bit and put them right here on the end. Exhausted, and I just use that card. So then, ooh, that's pretty cool. So as an action, I can steal 2, but then I flip this card and they essentially become a token creature. It's kind of an interesting trade-off. I mean, I could reap for 1 or steal 2, but then they become a token creature. I think I'll steal 2. That sounds like a good time. So then they're exhausted and I steal 2, putting me up to 5 amber. I'm already almost able to forge again, which is fantastic. So that is all I'm doing for my turn. So I ready up all my cards. I guess I need to draw, 3 more? Hope for some more Unfathomable. There's 1, and there's 2. So I'm gonna have a crazy unfathomable, I'm gonna have an unfathomable turn next turn. That's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and draw these 2 and these 2. I know these top 2 are just gonna be creatures, so they just go back and play. Luckily, they don't have any play effects, so they just are chilling there. Next is Defend the Keyraken, so they gain an amber. Ward the Keyraken and each of its creatures. I kind of wish I didn't just draw that, but whatever. I wish I would have played the creatures earlier, but I'm pretty sure you always play the archives first and then draw cards, so that order kind of didn't matter. It gains an amber for each time the Keyraken has advanced this game. It archives 1 adventure cards, and then we draw that many cards. It hasn't surfaced once, so sucks to suck, man. Stun and exhaust one of your creatures. Well, first I have to use the Keyraken. They reap. Now I use the artifacts, which I have to stun and exhaust one of my creatures. Just go with my token creature. Then I need to give +3 power counters to the creature with the lowest power. I gotta basically do that twice. So each of these 3 power creatures are now 6 power creatures that are warded. So that's definitely not ideal, and I will probably have to deal with that somehow next turn. But that is it for the Keyraken's turn. So it's back to me. Okay, well, I am gonna go Unfathomable. So let me start this crazy round out. So I play that card to gain an amber. I have to destroy a friendly creature. If you do look at the opponent's card and choose a card from it, that player discards that card. I think the only fair way to do this, I don't even know if this technically works like this, but I'm just gonna look at the top 2 cards of the deck and get rid of one of these. I'm gonna get rid of that one, I guess. So then I'll just put this one in their archive. I don't know if that's really how that card works, but I think this makes the most sense to translate it for the Keyraken. Next, I will play Illusion of Grandeur, which doesn't really do anything for the Keyraken, but it just mainly am playing it for the amber. Then I will play Frigorific Rod. Also, this is ready. So I'll go ahead and destroy that and also make a token creature while I'm thinking about it. And did I gain an amber for playing that? The frigorific rod. I don't think I just grabbed one. So I'll go ahead and grab one. I'm doing pretty good on ambers, even if I just messed up a little bit there. It's not the end of the world. I'll go ahead and play Crushing Deep, which gains me an amber, and mainly the Keyraken's keys cost +3. No, it costs +6. It's +3 for each forge key. I have 2, so it's going to cost them +6 amber. So with a low tide, they can't do anything. Last, I have this Fathom Reaver, which I can play, and then it has a pretty cool ability. When you control a token creature, your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card during the draw cards step. So how I take that is they just draw 1 card each turn for now. I got a token creature way down here. And I think that's all I really want to do and can do for this turn. So I'll ready up all my creatures. A lot of token creatures at this point. I'm in check, which is great. And then I just need to draw back up to 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted to do Brobnar next turn, so that is an awesome looking hand for Brobnar. I still have my 1 card in the archives, just drew 2 creatures, and yeah, that's going to be a pretty fun next turn. So back to the Keyraken. Technically, they would have enough to surface, but since I played that 1 card, they're kind of screwed this round. So they're just drawing their 1 card, which I already knew what it was. It's Swift Current. It's an archive, or it's an artifact coming in tapped and exhausted. So Keyraken goes and reaps, gains them an amber. Whirlpool Eddy goes. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep stunning my token creatures, I guess. I mean, why not? So then both of these are gonna go off and both of them are gonna explode, but it also did make both of their creatures a 9/9, which are not, it's not gonna be fun to deal with no matter how I deal with it, unless I have some cards that can just put creatures back in hand, which I'm gonna actively look for because they're warded and they have 9 health. That's not used, so this will be used, and it reaps, and then it says the Keyraken steals 1 amber from me, whatever, and then this one reaps, and it says that the tide is low, the Keyraken archives 1 of its cards, so it will do that. So it definitely has enough amber to advance next round, but I have enough amber to forge another key, which I will go ahead and do. So 2, 4, 6, that is my last key forged. And at this point, the armor is gone. The Keyraken is exposed, and now I just got to wail on them. So let me see what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I will play Brobnar. I'm going to go ahead and grab my archives. Start out by playing this Mighty Club Exhausted, and then I will play Feats of Strength. So for the remainder of the turn, each time an enemy creature is destroyed in a fight, I make a token creature, which is pretty neat. And I also gained an amber, which is good. Then I will play Brick Nasty. And it has the ability, after another friendly Brobnar creature fights, gain 1 amber. Pretty sweet ability. I'll just play them kind of down there because I'm running out of room. Then I will play Pelf. They're just a 3-power skirmisher. They have an after fight ability. And then finally, well, I might not play this yet. Hold on. I really need that card again that puts creatures back in the enemy's hand, because that's what I would ideally do here. If not, I'm pretty much going to have to attack, and both of my active ready Brobnar creatures are going to have to go down. I mean, I could reap with them. I don't really need amber at this moment. I have enough to raise the tide, which I probably should. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Anyway, I think the Keyraken is going to surface anyway next turn, so as long as I try to make it more expensive for them, I think that is the best. So I'm probably just going to fight with both of these guys. So I'll have Krog attack Slippery Arm, and because of his splash damage, both of the wards will go off, but then Krog dies, so then the amber goes back to them. I don't think this after fight ability happens because they died. I don't know for sure. But that's how I'm going to play it. So then, yeah, these things have 9 power, so there's really nothing I can do. And I guess maybe I would have teched this one since this technically had elusive. Doesn't really matter. Then I guess I will have that go ahead and fight them. So that's 4 damage to the Tenacious Arm here. This gets destroyed, and this has the ability, when it's destroyed, I make a token creature. Let me go ahead and scoot some of this down here and make a token creature with the last card in my deck. And I think that is all I can really do. I'm going to go ahead and play Press Gang and basically make another token creature, which I need to shuffle my deck for. Okay, so token creature made from that card. I think that's it for my turn. I have a lot of token creatures out, which is pretty cool. Don't know how useful that is at the moment. I mean, there's that one card that lets me like forge out of on my turn, but discounted. At this point, it's not really needed or necessary. So let me draw back up to 6. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's the card I was looking for. Pull up stakes, right? 2, 4. Yeah, that's the one I needed. So I got to pretty much call Equidon, even though I only have that one card. I think I'm going to need to do that. So Keyraken's turn, and first thing they are going to do is forge their key, which they're essentially trying to reach the surface. So they're already at surface level 1. The tide will go down, and then they draw, I think, yeah, just one card, because I think this is still affecting that. So their first card is Race to the Surface. They gain an Amber and archive a card because they surfaced once, and then I draw a card because they surfaced once. Then what else are they gonna do? Another Whirlpool Eddy. That's kind of annoying. They gain another Amber, then the Keyraken goes and reaps, gaining them another Amber. Artifacts go, so I have to stun exhaust one of my creatures. I'm gonna go ahead and stun exhaust this Unfathomable creature. And then the Keyraken's creature with the highest power captures 1 from you. So Keyraken's creature with the highest power, it's tied, so I'm gonna put it on the weakened one. Then it says, if you have no Amber, destroy Swift Current and lower the tide. So I don't know if that still happens now, because I don't have Amber, and it doesn't say if you have no Amber. It doesn't say like do that instead. If they had instead at the end, I think that's how it would work. But I think from how I'm reading it, this thing gets destroyed. Let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like it could go either way, but I feel like the word instead should be in there if that last clause is what should happen instead. Anyway, the creatures are going to go. They both reap, gaining the Keyraken 2 more Amber. And because of this one, the Keyraken would steal 1 from me. I don't have any. And this one, since the tide is low, it does archive a card. So then all of the stuff readies back up, and then it's back to my turn. All right, so I'm gonna do a crazy Equidon turn, I guess. Crazy is, well, maybe a loose term, but I will call Equidon, play Pull Up the Stakes. Wait, that here I have to shuffle 2 friendly creatures into my pile. I really don't want to put my Equidon guys in, but I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna put my, I guess, both stunned token creatures. Well, I'll put one stunned token creature and my Pelf back into my deck, because yeah, I don't really love those, but then I can return 4 enemy creatures to their owner's hand, which is extremely nice, because then I get this back and these creatures are gone, and thankfully their power upgrades will be gone too. Okay, so let me start doing some stuff. So I'm gonna just unstun that guy. I have 3 token creatures. I'll use this one to go ahead and attack the Keyraken. They die, Keyraken's ward goes down, and then I can draw a card. Draw Brobnar, okay. I have 2 more token creatures and these 2 guys. Well, I do have 2 Amber, so let me go ahead and raise the tide, right? Because it only costs me 2 Amber. So I'll do that, because I mean the Keyraken's probably going to advance next turn anyway, but whatever. I don't know what the best play here is, so I think I'm just going to attack with 3, 6, 7, 8, so dealing 8 damage total, bringing the Keyraken down to 22 health, taking out all my Equidon guys, but that does take out 2 of my token creatures, which do mean I get to draw 2 cards, which is maybe good, maybe not. Okay, so I did get an Equidon card. This says a friendly creature and an enemy creature each capture 3 Amber from their opponents. So I will go ahead and play that. Playing it gains me an Amber, and then I can go ahead and swipe 3 from them, putting them on, I guess, the Brobnar guy probably. And I think that's going to be it for my turn. I'm not going to be drawing any cards because I'm already over my hand limit, but that's fine. Back to the Keyraken. They're going to surface again for 2, 4, and 6 Amber total, which will lower the tide and raises them 1 closer to the surface. They're at surface level 2. Just as a reminder, if they reach surface level 4, I lose. So this is still good, because there's a token creature out and that card's still out, so I'm chilling. So they only draw 1 card, but they still do have a lot of cards to play. So let's go through them one at a time. These are the 2 creatures first that they had last time. Next is Left in its Wake. So they gain an amber, and this says exhaust your most powerful creature, and each creature you control shares a house with it. So that would just be my Barabnar guy. Yeah, if the tide was high, the Keyraken would archive a card. Preternatural Will. Oh gosh, if the tide is low, heal up 6 damage. So almost all of that damage I just did is gone now. It was for nothing. It's been healed away. The last card is a Slippery Arm. Whatever. So then both of the Whirlpool Eddies are going to go. And I guess, so these both go, they would stun and exhaust both of these creatures. And then because everybody is stunned, at least one of them would get destroyed. Not both of them, because they weren't all stunned when this one happened, but that one did stun the last one, so I think that makes sense. Okay, so then the Keyraken goes and reaps, and then that's it. So it readies up all of its creatures, which I definitely need to try to deal with. This readies up, and then it's back to my turn. Okay, I'll call Barabnar. I'll play Pound, which gains me an amber and lets me deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 damage splash, which is decent. I can almost take out one of these guys, which is something, I guess. Then I have... Well, let me see how I want to do this. So I guess I'll play Press Gang to make a token creature, and then I can use Fresh Marks to destroy a token, or destroy a friendly creature. So I gain an amber for playing it. I'll destroy my stunned token creature, and then that card allows me to exalt 3 enemy creatures. So it'll be some nice extra amber, I guess. I don't really need it, but whatever. Then I will go ahead and play my Krog over there. Oh. I have my Mighty Club. Oh, that is really good. Because I was like, I can't do much this turn. Now I can. I could take out all of these guys with my Mighty Club. Let me double check there's nothing else I really want to do or can do. I guess, I was going to raise the tide. That's what I was just thinking about. So let me go ahead and do that just so the Keyraken can't surface next turn. Then I will Mighty Club. So I will exhaust this to ready and engage a creature. I will attack with Krog the Clumsy, attacking the Tenacious Arm. And what's great is Krog has 2 splash damage. So not only does he take out this arm, he takes out both of the other ones. So I get 3 amber, which is good. I've dealt with all of the creatures, which is really good. And then I essentially deal 9 damage to the Keyraken, which is insanely good in my situation because I'm not doing too great. So they are down to 19 health, and I have an okay board, I guess. I mean, it could be a lot better. A lot of my guys are stunned and exhausted at this point, but what are you gonna do? I have all my keys forged. I just need to take down this stupid creature. So that was my turn. Back to the Keyraken. I think this creature is still active because it's when you control a token creature and I control one. So I think they're just drawing 1 card. Emergence. So they gain an amber, destroy 1 of your artifacts and exhaust 3 of your creatures. I guess I'll destroy that and then exhaust probably them, and I guess them. Sure. So I almost put that in the wrong discard pile. Whirlpool Eddy goes and stuns and exhausts creature that's not already stunned. So I guess I'll just stun that one. And this Whirlpool Eddy is still chilling. It's not destroyed yet. So then that's it for the Keyraken's turn. It's back to my turn. Let me see what I want to do. Okay, well, I think I'm going to attack with Krog. I'll deal 7 damage and take 3 damage in return. And then I'm gonna call Barabnar. I should have said that first. Then I'll use the Mighty Club to basically ready this guy and attack again. So that's 14 damage total, bringing the Keyraken down to just 5 damage, which is really close. Unfortunately, though, Krog does die in the process, but I think that is a worthy sacrifice. Now I can play Heeb the Huge, which is pretty decent, but it's gonna deal 2 damage to each other undamaged creature, which is not great because it's going to do 2 damage to them and 2 damage to them, which isn't horrible. It will destroy my token creature though, which kind of sucks because now I don't have a token creature and now this guy's effect won't be active anymore. I do get to draw a card for the token creature being destroyed, and I do get a Brovnar card. So I'll probably play this, because yeah, I will. So I gained an amber for playing it, and then 2 more since I control more creatures than my opponent. So 3 amber total. Cool, I could forge again if I needed to or wanted to, but I'm already at 3 keys, so I am chilling. Let me ready up my creatures, and hopefully next round I should be able to finish this with a sick Brovnar turn, as long as they don't wipe out my board or like ward themselves or do anything too crazy. They will be drawing 2 cards again, and well, first I guess they are going to be ascending to almost the max level. They're at level 3, so if they were to ascend one more time, it's game over, man. Game over. But there's still time. The Keyraken has not reached the surface. They're almost dead. The armor's gone. They are going to be drawing 2 cards, but let's see what they're going to do. So Emergence, they are gaining an amber, destroying one of my artifacts, and exhausting 3 of my creatures. Well, there goes my win next turn. I guess I'm going to have to wait another round, unless I can somehow deal 5 damage with exhausted creatures, I guess. I don't know how that's going to work. Crushing Arm. That's not what I wanted to see, but it's not horrible, because Whirlpool Eddy's going to go. It's going to stun exhaust this, and at least Whirlpool Eddy then explodes. The Keyraken needs to go and reap, and then it readies up Crushing Arm, and it's back to my turn. So let me think about what I want to do here. Okay, this might be... I have a lot of unfathomable cards, but a lot of them aren't that great. So I'm going to actually go with Equidon. I'm going to play Trading Frenzy. So then I gain an amber and then an enemy creature, and we both essentially capture 3 amber. So we'll do that, and then I will play Token of Appreciation to create a token creature. And with that, that's pretty much all I can do. I'm just kind of waiting for these guys to unexhaust so I can, or to ready so I can unexhaust or unstun them and then actually attack, because I don't have another plan. I just have to keep waiting them out, I guess. So I draw back up to 6. I do have a decent amount of Unfathomable, but still I'm not loving this hand, because my guys are just kind of useless at the moment. They only have 5 damage. They're so close. If I could just unstun these guys, if I still have my artifact even, I'd be decent. But at least at this point, I believe this Fathom Reaver is activated again, so they're only drawing just 1 card. So let's see what it is. It's another Crushing Arm. Okay, so then the Keyraken would reap, and then Crushing Arm is going to attack the least powerful flank creature, which is my token. Token is destroyed. It deals 1 damage in return, and then since token was destroyed, I get a card, which I get Nurbor the Flamewing. It's fine with me, and then Crushing Arm readies up. It's back to my turn, and let me think about what I want to do. Yeah, I think I'd really just want to go Brovnar. I play this, and then unstun both of these guys essentially is all I can do. I really hope they don't stun him again, because I win next turn if they don't. So that's 2, 4, 6 cards total. Did I draw 1 too many cards? 2, 4, 6. I don't know what happened there, but whatever. I'm not drawing any cards, and then it's back to the Keyraken's turn. They are drawing 2 cards. It's not great, but let's see what they're gonna do. So Pre-Natural Will, so they're healing up to 11. This game is going to go on forever. Next card, Swift Current. They gain 2 amber, and they're gonna be stealing more amber for me. Both of these are going and attacking the least powerful flank creature, which I guess would be both of these. So they're both taking 4 damage, bringing this one up to 5. And this one has 4 damage on it. Both of these creatures are destroyed. Rip to them. And my, whatever, Fathom Reaver ability, that's going to be gone now. So now it's back to my turn, and that's game. Because I have 11 damage on the board. I don't have to attack the Keyraken's creatures. They have 11 damage. So I just attack with both of these, and the Keyraken dies. That was close. I felt pretty confident towards the beginning, but they just kept stopping me towards this end. The Keyraken, almost reaching the surface, is slayed, and that is a win for Panic Gore Outlands Advisor, the Winds of Exchange deck. This deck did better than I thought, and honestly, it has some of my favorite houses. Equidon, I haven't tried too much. I don't know how I still feel about them, but Brovnar, I've been really liking in this new set, and Unfathomable, I liked a lot in the last set. This set, it seems sometimes more situational against the Keyraken itself, but I still really enjoy it. But overall, this was a good deck. It had good creature control and amber control. which was good, especially the Brobnar with the creatures really helped me kind of keep the Keyraken and its creatures in check. Got a little out of hand at some points, but luckily some of the Equidon cards came in handy to deal with the creatures without having to actually destroy them, which was nice. But yeah, that was me fighting the Keyraken. The Keyraken, I still really enjoy this adventure. I like it a lot more than the Abyssal Conspiracy. I think the Abyssal Conspiracy is fine, and the new one's pretty good, but I think this is still probably my favorite. I just like the idea of having a boss monster that you're just fighting. I like it scales with different players, and you can easily adjust it to, if you want to play with more people, you can, but want it to be shorter, you can just start with a key or start with less health. This game can run pretty long at times, though. I thought I'd be done quicker today, but Keyraken put up a fight, but not good enough against Panic Gore Outlands Advisor. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see ya.